very interesting conversation. Very different than what we've had before.
Yeah, I like it.
And I'm
like, I was getting burnt out on all that political shit we were doing. And it's like, yo, man.
Honestly,
you know,
politics is just like a really like complicated thing, and it's everywhere. It's just like, you know,
What about-
sport? It's like sports.
yeah, no.
It's like,
well,
like,
have you
who
heard of
does that-
Jesse Ventura?
Yeah, I think he had sex with some prostitutes, and he was a wrestler. Yeah, I know Jesse.
Did he have sex with? I'm about to look that one up.
Yeah, no, there was this one situation. I guess he went to a whorehouse or something.
Ain't nothing wrong with
How long ago was that?
This is like during like his heavy political like run, or when I think he was like governor. Like,
Yeah, he was governor of Minnesota.
Yeah, I think he did that. Anyway, so
I'm gonna have to look that up. I don't know if that's completely accurate. I don't remember hearing that. But
oh no, he got dragged through it. Like it was something that he did, got caught, and then it was because like, oh, you know, he saw a prostitute, and it's all like, yeah, a lot of people do. I mean, but it was like not like he picked up some sketchy, like, you know, like scabies written, like,
Right.
you know, like thing on the side of the road. No, he went to like a brothel, which is like those are professionals. Like,
well,
yeah,
you know, he's a big conspiracy
there.
theory kind of guy.
yeah. I mean,
He was there doing homework for his show.
JFK's assassination. They'll know in here.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's written on the walls
Speaking about
there.
the JFK assassination, I got a funny one about that.
All right.
Oh, shit.
No, wait, hold on. Hold on.
Wait,
Context.
We're going to attempt to make the assassination of one of our greatest presidents
Well,
funny.
I mean, I thought it was mind blowing. Oh,
God. That's
anyway.
good. I like that one.
Anyway, yeah, no, you're looking at someone that wins at Cards Against Humanity. I'm gonna say horrible things
We
for
should invite-
points.
we played-
Yeah, we should play.
But yeah, no, like when it came to, we had a teacher that his name was Mr. Johnson, which no one like. It was like, okay, that's a normal like teacher sound. Like to me, it sounded too normal.
Yeah, right.
No, here's the thing. It turns out he was batshit insane, and I mean, like
As a teacher?
no, I mean like
As a person?
As a person, he's nuttier than squirrel shit. Like,
Damn.
like he had a extra credit class where he would have students help him try to prove the conspiracy or like a conspiracy.
Wow.
In the
That's not like a
JFK
nice
assassination.
side-ass class.
Yeah. But here's the thing. He also thought he got so far that the CIA was like monitoring him and like the FBI was following him. So he legally changed his name.
No shit.
And then like he would get really wigged out if anyone brought up CIA or FBI, and like it would ask him like, hey, do you think that they're following you or something like that? Like if he saw someone with the earpiece, he freaked the hell out.
Dude, I would
Like-
be messing with him in class all the time.
Oh yeah, no, like we got to see like firsthand. We're like, yeah, don't bring up like the CIA
No
or
shit.
FBI to them.
how
And
long?
then we had this one kid.
When was this? How long ago was this?
Oh God, I don't know. This was back in junior high. That was like what?
Oh, junior high.
7-8 years ago. Like this, yeah.
Because how old are you?
28.
Oh, you're young.
Oh, just a
I
puppy,
know,
man.
right?
Piss don't stink yet.
No, it does.
Well, okay,
If
so
I don't drink water.
well,
then it's
I think that that was my whole point.
Why does mine
because,
smell like asparagus? I haven't even ate asparagus.
you know,
I
because
always wonder why I fart and I smell eggs, and I haven't had eggs in weeks. I'm like,
mine smells like beer, I swear. The next day when I'm out partying hard, it smells like beer and cigarettes. Like, what the fuck?
man, you're more beer than man at some point.
I think
Like,
so. You know,
that's your superpower.
He-
I don't know
he-
how useful that is.
He thought I was bullshitting because I'd come to work. Man, I did it again. I'm hungover again. You can't drink that much. Bullshit.
Yeah.
You don't know,
Brother.
So, anyways, back to my little tangent here. But the reason why I brought up Jesse Ventura and the whole conspiracy theories thing, because he talks about like everything that you see in front of you when it comes to politics, the Republicans and the Democrats, it's like wrestling. They're mortal enemies in front of the
Ironic,
cameras.
right?
behind- but yeah.
the former wrestler is using a wrestling analogy.
But
Yeah, right.
when he ran as governor, he didn't run as a Republican or a Democrat. I think he was the first one in the state to run as a third party independent and won.
Yeah, really rare because both parties don't like that because they like it to either be one or the other. If there's like a third option or multiple options, it really shows that they don't have that much power,
Yeah,
and that's why
yeah.
they're so threatened by the idea of someone can go independent, third party, green party.
Yeah.
What I don't know all the parties.
No, but here's what's interesting is
There's too
because
many parties.
after he won his election, he remembered that he was summoned to the basement of the governor's mansion or wherever they're in Capitol in Minnesota.
All right, I feel like this is gonna go like on like one of those like there
Wait.
was the ritualistic goat head that he must wear
Yeah.
and have sex with a virgin and be sworn into the
I need to
skull
be
and
governor.
bones or something like that.
Yeah.
like
There's a big owl on fire. And
yeah, like that kind of crazy conspiracy stuff. Like,
Well, no, what had happened though? He was summoned to the Capitol or whatever, and sitting in the room was a couple of guys in suits. He sat down and they talked to him, and then you
Devil.
know they started talking to him, and he was unaware of who they were. So he asked, "Who are you guys?" He said, "Oh, well, you know, we're from the CIA." And he was just like, "Wait a minute, you guys are not supposed to be functioning and in gathering intelligence within the United States. You are supposed to be out. You're not supposed. Why are you here?" And they didn't really answer his questions. But afterwards, he called one of his buddies, who was a former Navy SEAL and does a lot of stuff with the government. And he basically said that he was told that the CIA they're nervous. They're wondering if what you did was a fluke or if it's a real movement.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Because having somebody as high profile as you not running in the circle of what normalcy is, they're afraid you scared them.
Exactly. He terrified the norm, and that's why he got buried under a lot of political stuff, aka that one prostitution thing.
I'm gonna have to look that up. I don't know.
Google it.
I
Jesse Ventura whorehouse.
I'm gonna go continue. I'm gonna look that up right now.
Yeah, because like it's like we live in a government system where it's like two-party controlled.
Yes,
Right,
which I completely disagree. I'm not a Republican. I'm an independent. Like for the last couple of years, I actually voted Libertarian. Or the last couple of elections, I voted Libertarian, and I registered as a Libertarian because my whole focus was I didn't agree 100% with the Libertarian Party, but I wanted a change.
Yeah, no,
There's two parties. There has to be something.
There has to be a change. Something has to because both of them are. It's not working. And like. It's basically one party that's controlled by this side of corrupt corporations that are puppeting and pulling the strings because unfortunately all the
Right.
running and all that means you need money.
I found a video on YouTube that says Nevada's brothels love Obamacare. Go figure, right?
Right.
Free abortions for everybody.
Yeah. Or STD screens and all that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. What about groups like Antifa?
Antifa? Well, if you
Because they're all about. I mean, when you see reports, I mean, it could be biased reporting, but
so there is biased reporting, yeah. And Antifa ideology, I believe, or what one told me was that they do not that corporations and large businesses and all that can strip humanity for its value, and it's okay, so they're allowed to do take water rights and all that without paying for it because that's fine, it goes unchecked, so they're like, fuck you, let's destroy property. But at the same time, it's they're just gonna spin it to make it look like you're a bunch of thugs wanting to break shit and not actually give you the message that you're trying to get through. And then every time they try to go and not investigate, interview someone, it's always the mouth breather that's covered in a whole bunch, has the anonymous mask and all that, and he doesn't know what the hell they're talking about. So of course everyone's like, oh, that's what they're
well, yeah, that's the sensational side of it, and that's what's going to get highlighted.
Right.
But but the tactics that are taken, it's not
cool.
It's not just a random thing. It seems like that's baked into the cake, so to speak.
It is.
You know what I mean?
I mean,
I don't think that's palatable.
It's not. I mean, it's.
Do you guys want to hear Jesse's Ventura view on prostitution?
Play it.
For the first one, legalized prostitution. Big idea or bad idea?
I've done them all. Sexual acts between consenting adults are totally legal, right?
And
totally legal. So the only thing that's illegal about prostitution is the exchange of money. Well,
Right,
let's
that's true,
tax
man,
it.
that's true.
We're $9 trillion in debt
Tax
right
'em.
now is the national debt. Well,
Okay, so I have a very
Go ahead.
see, and the libertarian side would agree with that. No, he's not a libertarian, but libertarians would agree with that because they see it as the only thing that makes it illegal is the exchange of money. That's it. The fact that you
the only thing that makes it illegal is because there's not in a sense, they can't tax it or collect money for the government itself in a sense. But if
they could.
actually, exactly,
they could.
They
Broth
can.
is done in Vegas.
And in Canada,
and yeah.
prostitution is legal. They have to go through screening. All that
look
kind of
about
stuff.
with marijuana. They could do the same thing with marijuana. If they were to allow the full legalization, take marijuana off the Schedule 1 drug list in the
Which is
federal
weird.
level.
Crack is not even a Schedule 1 drug. Or
It's not?
heroin. No.
No, look at that.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
really.
It's,
Well, no,
it's not. It's a Schedule 2.
Well, but my
Marijuana is
point-
above that because it's a gateway drug.
Exactly.
But the
yeah,
reason
no,
why
it's
though
not.
is people can grow if they legalize marijuana across the board.
Well,
they could just grow it in
if
the
they
yard.
legalize it, they also have to go back through all the arrests and
they got to
imprisonment
expunge all those records.
and they don't want to do that because the thing is, our infrastructure is built on two major complexes, and that is either the military complex or the prison complex. And the prison complex, while they're complaining about how like they're overpopulating it with all that,
Right.
Yep.
and then you find out what they do, like you can say like you have your own political views and all that, but John Oliver actually had this great article about the prison complex and all that, and how they will destroy your life. Like they'll you'll go to court and you'll fight it, and they'll be like, hey, take this lesser plea deal. And then here's the thing: when you take that lesser plea deal, then you're a felon still, and you don't get to vote. And then, like,
all it does is it lessens your time, but it destroys your life just the same.
Exactly.
And I think not just prison reform. I think criminal justice reform needs to completely switch. I think the way that we've done things, and when you look at, like, for instance, the 13th Amendment, the amendment that abolished slavery, but yet when you're in prison,
in the fine text, it says slavery is abolished unless it is in a form of imprisonment and punishment.
For criminal offenses.
Literally, like
so that's why they can force them to work, like the chain gangs and all that back in the olden days.
They still have those
jobs.
Well, yeah, I know, but they would force them, and they could pay them next to nothing because under the 13th Amendment. Still,
they can use them as
I remember my dad used to make like 3 cents a day.
They can use prisoners as firefighter squads.
Yeah, and they do. Here in California,
they do. And then they risk their lives, but not only that, they learn a skill to, quote, better their life because they're fighting fires and all that, and they are not allowed to use that skill to apply for a job outside of it because they are a felon.
And that's where change needs to happen. So basically,
it keeps them in a state where they can, no matter what.
Is that why there's always quote unquote repeat? Always going back into prison.
Right now, that's really it.
This is here we go political again. But this is like a problem I have with like our local politicians. This is like that's a simple, easy fix. We could correct those things. The only thing, like drug, like what's very libertarian is they also want to legalize all drugs. I don't agree with that necessarily because that broadens the things, but you could at least, for the extent of like marijuana, the only reason why people should be in jail is for, let's say, violent offenses. Non-violent offenses, there's other ways we can do this.
Yeah, there's other forms, like instead of just like
or something.
Because
like probationary things, instead of just like destroying someone's life and now they're a felon because of this reason or something like that. Definitely. They could actually a lot of people are saying shame works a lot better than like they
do back in the day, wear the sandwich board,
something like something like that, like
now they're ear to a post.
And
you're free as soon as you rip yourself out.
Here's my biggest thing though. A lot of what I think is missing, especially when you look at nowadays, for some reason, and it may be true of the past, I don't know, but it seems like mental health does play a lot of. That doesn't mean that somebody is mentally disabled. It's just realize that a lot of people react to the things that are around them, and then instead of really addressing how people react, we just want to punish them for their reaction instead of realizing, well, people a lot of the time people aren't trained. We're not developed.
We have 1,000 ways to punish someone for something, but when it comes to rehabilitating them or something like that, it's almost non-existent.
Yep, that is completely
true.
Because
it's easier to punish and exploit from that point on instead of actually helping a member of society be like, hey, you fucked up here. Don't do that, and in that process, you can learn something new and then use it to better yourself and all that. But no, it discriminates against them and it makes the struggle more. So, like you said previously, there's the people that go into the whole relapse and are like, oh, I can't get out of the prison life and all that because that is a conditioning, and they want that. They want the bodies to stay in there. They want the factory, and it goes into the political thing. If you research your senators, if you research your lawmakers, if you research lobbyists, which I don't think lobbyists should even exist. I mean, but that's
a whole nother tangent.
That's a whole nother thing. But if you actually research them, where they're actually invested in, you'll see them that they have investments in prison complexes or manufacturing deals with weapons or companies that have Nestle. Stuff that's like, hey, why is my hair falling out now? It's like, well, your senator took money from that company that's pouring sludge in your water. But a lot of people don't look at that. And then it's like, and then they still elect these people, or they don't think hey, we can get this person out. I mean, yeah, sure. No matter what, these corporations and all that will have money to be like, hey, you're the new one. But if we keep it in rotation, it makes it difficult for them to, actually get that hold. But when we have senators, lawmakers, and all that, where they can be in office until they literally die.
Yep.
And
we need term limits on
there is a senator, I believe, that he is completely gone mentally. Like he has been like they've caught him sleeping. Like, he's not like he's like almost like I think he's almost 90 years old. He's senile
it's, the same, it's the same thing with the Supreme Court. I mean, Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I mean, she's basically Skeletor at this point. But anyways, like on that note, it's coming down to the end of our time. We touched on a lot of great things. This has been a really good talk.
This is the start of something good.
I feel like it was like it started as something light, then it drifted into the political.
Welcome to the TAP. That's how it happens.
Okay, I think we should just like make it to where it's like, okay, if we're gonna go political, we have to like get an egg timer and be like 10 minutes. That's it, and then we have to go right back to another subject.
Yeah.
Because,
anyways.
We should do it.
Okay, but
well,
anyway,
eventually we're gonna start going live so we can see people's posts. Hey, talk about this.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just giving you death threats and all that.
Yeah, no shit.
It's fine. Anyway, so thanks for joining us today on the TAP. I'm your boy Sorev. I'm here with Play B and our special guest Ryan. Ryan, thanks.
Hey, no problem. I had fun.
We're gonna bring him back on. This is an interesting talk.
Oh yeah, no, I still haven't given you the story about the peanut butter guy.
Okay, we're gonna talk about that next time. Well, anyways, thanks for joining in. This has been the TAP, the Apocalypse Project.
Peace.